Yeah, 3 times. I think somebody needs to be out here to the floor.
Well, I do too. I got my cameras up. You might be interrupted, but.
Should have started 2 minutes ago. I don't know what you're doing. Looks like I'm Marine. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. Well, let me ask you this. Is there a fuel cap on top of the engine?
How do I mute myself so that background noise doesn't come through? I'll unmute myself if I have a question.
Or is there a separate tank? Okay, but then there's no other small tank, like a 3-gallon tank somewhere?
I'm going to give everybody a few more minutes to get logged on, and then we'll go ahead and get started.
So now people can...
And can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. It looks like everybody's on that's going to make it this morning. So we got a pretty good group this morning, good sized group. So I'd ask everybody to hold their questions to the end. If I am going to, somebody go ahead and speak up and let me know to slow down a little bit. This is our second meeting. Next meeting will be held in about a month from now. I'll do the same thing I did this time, send out a few emails and let everybody know. We are limited to a certain amount of computers that can connect to the GoToMeeting. So just as this time, email me and let me know who's all going to be attending. It's okay if you have more than one computer, just let me know you do so I can hold a spot for you. I'm going to try to record this meeting today. If it goes as I hope, I'll load it online somewhere and make sure everybody gets the copy of the recording so you can look back later if you're sending out an email or anything. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. And again, let me know if I'm going too fast for anybody. The main thing when sending out the mass mailings is you have to have your mailings tab set up. We're not going to completely go into that because it's different for every dealership, but here's where it's done. It's under Setup and Main Dealership. The top part handles all of your emailing quotes, emailing invoices, and emailing work orders. So most of your individual emails. The bottom part, everywhere under bulk email, handles all your mass mailings. Most of the time you can take this right out of your Outlook or another email client and just paste it in here, but that's not always the case. You can use our test bulk email settings, and if you put your email address and your email address again and test it, working, you will get an email. It'll just say test, but as long as you get the email, you'll know it's working. If anybody has any questions after or wants to get together and set this up, I'll be available. You can just give me a call. The other thing in Setup is under Setup General, you have your mailing list, voting location, and subdivisions. The mailing list is important. To set up a test email, you're going to want to set up a test mailing list. I already have one in here, but you can add as many as you want just by right-clicking and going to Add. It's pretty easy to do. And it'll ask you, would you like all customers part of the mailing list? And you do yes or no there. You can delete them, you can edit them. It's all done under Setup General on the mailing list tab. Also have voting locations, same way, right-click and add, and subdivisions, right-click and add. So these just give you a different way to sort the mailers when you're choosing who to send it out to. All that information is stored under the customer's record. So when you're creating the customer, or you can go back later and edit, just right-click, go to Information. Their mailing lists are held under the Mailing List tab. You just select it. And the voting location division are under the home address and lake address. Also under the customer information is a checkbox to take the customer out of all bulk emails. So if a customer emails you back and says they want to be excluded from all future emails, you can come in here and check the box here without having to delete the whole customer. Okay, so the first thing we'll jump into is how to create and save an HTML document. An HTML document allows you to have any graphics and text. It will not allow you to have any substitution words, so it's more of a newsletter style email where everybody gets the exact same email. I'm going to go ahead and open my word processor here. So I'm just using Word 2012, but any word processor will work. And again, this is going to be a newsletter style, so you can add pictures and any text. You can format this document however you want, center everything up. Okay. So again, that allows you to add pictures as well as text, but no substitution words. So to save this document, just go to File, Save As, and you're going to want to save it as a web page filtered. So once you save it, you can save it anywhere on the computer. When you're emailing it out, you'll be able to choose which document and where it's located. The only tricky thing about an HTML document is when it saves the document, it saves the pictures in a separate folder. So if you're ever moving the document, just make sure you grab both folders or you will lose the pictures. So what I'm looking at here is the folder I saved it into, and everything in this folder is included in that HTML document. Another tricky thing about HTML is if you double click on it once you've saved it as an HTML, it's it up under your Internet Explorer or whatever web browser you're using. So you're going to want to right click and go to Open With and select your word processor. We'll go back to Winboats here. Okay, so that's an HTML, pictures, no substitution text, just pictures in plain text and newsletter style. If you'd like to create a text-only with substitution words, you can do that in Winboats. If you go to Mailings, Templates, Email, and Create. You can also edit any you've done before, but we'll create a new one. So this one allows you, again, to just have text with substitution words. To add a substitution word, right-click, Insert, and you can choose from any substitution word here. You might not want to pick something too specific. If it does not have that information for the customer, it's not going to send the email. But you can obviously insert any of the substitution words, but again, it won't send it if it doesn't have that information for the customer. That's all you do is select it. It'll put it in brackets there, and it'll substitute the boat model that customer owns here. So this is again, text-only substitution words, and to enter a substitution word, right-click, Insert, and select the word. To save this document, just go to File, Save, and it'll save it. If you want to change the name of the document, Save As, and you can save it here. This saves it in the Winboats folder, and that's where you're going to want to save all your text documents. So it's just under Winboats and then under the Documents folder. If you're creating it in Winboats, it'll always open you up to that folder, so you don't have to worry about it. But if you are using a word processor, then you're going to want to save it under Winboats Documents. So you can edit any of those or delete any here. You also have a substitution text here that if you are creating it in a Word or any other processor, you can right-click and copy, and it'll insert the search string here. Again, it has to be saved as a text document, though, in the word processor. Okay, so that's the main two documents: the HTML filtered and the text document created in Winboats. To send out a test document, which I always recommend if you're using HTML, is it can mess with the formatting and everything. You're going to want to create that test mailing list and add yourself or whoever else you want to get the test emails to So add it here and add the customer under the customer information. So once you're ready, you got your document ready and you want to send out a test mailing, just go to Mailings, Send, and Email. If you're sending out a text document, it's going to be a plain text. If you're sending out an HTML, it's going to be HTML. The MHTML is a different format, and it can be used as well. Go through a plain text first. It'll ask for a subject line, which you do have to have. You'll have a return address. It always gets these return addresses from the users. So if you want your email to be listed as a return address, just make sure it's under your user information. High priority. And then for a text email, you can attach documents. So if you have a PDF or anything you want to attach, just right-click and add. So we're going to go through and send a test now. So I won't select anything here. And we're going to sort by mailing list. I'll just select the test mailing list. You got salesperson, subdivision, voting location, county, zip codes, and activity dates. The very last screen you'll see is what document you would like to send out. So select the document you created and finish. It's going to ask you, do you want to send? It'll tell you how many records match, so how many will be sent, and if you want to send, click yes. Every time you send out a mass mailing, you'll get a status on the bottom right that will show you how far along it is. If it's a one email blast, it's going to be pretty quick, and a couple hundred or a couple thousand is going to take a while, so you're going to want to leave your Winboats open. So that was a text email we went through there. It's a little different, but close to the same with an HTML, but we'll go through that real quick. So again, just select HTML. Subject line again. And here you'll browse for the HTML document. So it opens you up to your documents. And select the actual document, not the folder. Again, we'll just do a test. And it'll say the same thing, do you want to send? And yes. Okay, so I already got that one, and you can see how it came in with color, and it looks okay. So it just allows you to check it, and most likely your formatting will be a little off with an HTML document. Okay, so you'll always get the status in the bottom right. Just make sure you leave it open if you got a lot of emails going out. If you do try to close it, it'll get hung up, and it's not going to want to close, and it won't get sent out next time you open Winboats. So just make sure you leave it open for a while, and you're not leaving it at the end of the day or anything. You can always check who got the document or who it was sent out to, going to Mailings and View Logs. We save all the logs by date and time, and if you select it and click OK, it'll show you in a text document who it was sent to and if the email was okay or not. Okay. So that was under Mailings and View Logs. All right, that was an HTML and a text document. Just a few notes. or if you're going to be sending out a lot of HTML or text documents, it's always a good idea to use the same return address. If you use a different one, a lot of spam blockers or something will pick up on it. So once you send it out a few times and they know it's an actual email, it's always good to use the same one. There's a lot of other ways to sort. Here, you have to actually just select one. So if it's just all your active customers, all the received quotes, purchased from dealership or not purchased from dealership. Under most of the other ones, like the mailing list here, you need to select the checkbox at the top, and you can select more than one mailing list. So it's not limited to one. You can select as many as you want by using the checkbox here. Same thing with the salesperson. You can select one or more than one. Subdivision, same way. Boating location, same way. Counties, zip codes, and activity dates. Okay, so that's what I had to cover for the HTML and text documents. I would like to go over the automatic letters, just show you how you can use those, how they're set up, and how to send them out. So the setup for automatic letters is done under Setup and General and Automatic Letters. So you have to actually turn the letter on here and assign a template file. All automatic letters are going to be text documents, and they can use substitution words. So if you would like to turn one on, I have 4 turned on already. It's emails. You can just right-click and go to Edit and click to send this letter, an email or letter. If you select letter, it's just going to print out the letter when you run the report. And then you can browse for which document you would like to send out. That's set up, turned on there. A few of them are automatically turned on, like a new customer is automatically turned on, but a birthday, a boat purchase, and some do have to be turned on under the customer information. So to do that, you have to go to the customer information, go to their dates tab, and make sure you have a date in and you've checked the box to send it out. All of the template files are the same templates you created for a mass mailing. So they're created the same way under mailings, templates, and email. So they're created the exact same, and you can't even use the same documents. So once you have it set up to send under the setup, and you have it set to send under the customer, to send out an automatic mailer, you do have to run a report. So if you just go to mailings and automatic letters, you can select a date range, and then OK. So it's going to pull a report on who needs to get an email sent out to them. I did pull a report for 3 weeks, so it's going to want to send even the ones that were late. So you might want to run it a few weeks ahead of time to send it out a little bit early. When you pull the report, it hasn't sent the emails yet. To actually send the emails, you have to right-click and go to Send/Print. So if any of them are letters, it will print the letters as well. You can also select to disable. So if you don't want to send a birthday letter to this guy, just disable it, and it won't send it. When you're ready, just right-click and Send/Print. Again, it's going to do the same thing, give you a status on the bottom right. and once it's done, it'll just disappear on the bottom right. Okay, so that's the automatic letters, and that's all I had to cover there. A few things just want to make sure I did cover are under the customer tab. You do have a checkbox to take people off bulk emails, and you usually do want to give that as an option on your emails to click here to or reply to get taken off of your bulk emailers. So just give that as an option, or let them know. That way you can exclude anybody that doesn't want to receive any future emails. The spouse is going to have another one, a separate one as well. So just check them both if they want to be excluded. Mailing list, again, set up a test mailing list, and you can add any more under set up general mailing list. Okay, well, that's all I had to cover. If anybody has any questions, I guess I'll open it up. And if you got any questions or anything else you want to see me go over again, let me know.
Hey, Stephen, this is Heidi. I have a question.
Yep.
On creating substitution text emails, is there a way that Winboats would automatically send it with like an Atlanta Marine letterhead or the company letterhead on the email?
You're not talking like a signature line. You're talking about an actual like graphic.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You know how like Chaparral does this kind of thing with their lead management system where you can do substitution text, but when the customer gets the email, it just has a letterhead, so it looks more like a letter instead of just text, document? Or would you have to do that as the HTML?
If it's a graphic, you're going to have to do it as an HTML. Now, if it's just like a border and maybe just the dealership name and the address, then you can do that in a text. But it does have to be just text. It can't have any graphic in it for a text file.
Okay.
And I guess to answer your question a little further, no, you can't automatically do that. But if you had like one document that everybody used to kind of start off with, then you could just use that document. Anybody else have any questions? Okay. Well, like I said, I recorded it, so I'll try to see if it came out all right, and if I can find anywhere to post it. If it works out, I'll send everybody an email, let you know where it's posted, and I'll probably break it up into automatic letters and mass mailings. This way, that way it's a little bit shorter and a little easier to look through. All right. Well, if nobody else has any questions, if you need help setting up your mailings tab or have any trouble with anything else, just let me know. I'll put my email address and phone number in the chat at the bottom. Just make sure everybody has it.
All right, thank you. You're going to send an email out when you know where that's posted?
Yeah, I'll send an email out. Like I said, I've never done it before, so hopefully it turned out okay, and I'll post it somewhere.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thanks again.
Thank
Hello?
you. Thanks a bunch.